interest must be recognized as part of a broader plan. This is the early stage of economic isolation, leading ultimately to military intervention. Next, AGOA will be terminated, escalating tensions between USA and South Africa.
And all the well-to-do South Africans paid for by the state, should we keep on dragging heavy subsidies to stay on private medical aid? Or should we do something about it? This calls for a debate. I hope Action South Africa among the parties will support this call.
Minister, your time has
because
expired.
One of their members, Dr. Letlape, as the president of Health Professions
Minister,
Council,
your time has expired.
used to support this call. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister.
I said, if you want to be successful, look at your reality, not perception. America needs South Africa. South Africa needs America. If we don't work together, both of us shall lose, but South Africa shall lose more. America does not have doctors currently that's out of a job. We have medical students that don't have a job. Worse PEPFAR, without PEPFAR, it shall be worse. People are going to die.
ARV acquisition. I want to make it clear to the House that our own government buys ARVs to the tune of 90% of all the needed ARVs. We buy them. The remaining 10% is paid for by Global Fund, which was also established 2 decades ago to fight HIV, AIDS, and malaria in the whole world. And coincidentally, our own Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Joe Phaahla, is a member of the International Board of this Global Fund. He was...
Things that we're going to talk about. The first one is mandatory minimum sentences. Increasing the minimum sentence for corruption involving transactions exceeding 500,000 to 15 years imprisonment. Mr. President, you know, maybe when you were the mayor and I was the mayor at the same time, 500,000 was a lot of money. But now people don't steal in millions, they steal in billions. And Alan Beasley, my colleague, is going to talk about how billions get wasted and stolen. So the very first thing, 500,000, 15 years imprisonment. That's the kind of example we want to see in South Africa.
It would be foolish to respond arrogantly to this suspension, while we decry the speed at which the withdrawal of US aid was made, creating an income and health crisis for thousands of South Africans. It nevertheless highlights the enormous debt of gratitude we should have for the aid we have received from the US.
Our government's choice will seal our fate, but whatever we do, we must not allow ourselves to be bullied, as President Ramaphosa said during SONA. With PEPFAR's 8 billion rands taken from our HIV/AIDS fight, UniAIDS estimates about 222,000 patients, including about 8,000 children under the age of 15 years old, who face disruptions in their daily antiretroviral supplies, therapy supplies. But let's not gloss over this. Quite a significant chunk of these resources, Mr. Minister, seem to have gone to administration in terms of instead of the tangible programmatic work.
For this current financial year, 2025, an amount of $439 million were budgeted, but that is now being suspended. My concern is there's a much bigger threat in terms of what's happening at the moment. PEPFAR is part of that, but it's a small part of that. The United States is the second largest trading partner of South Africa. It plays a very important and a very pivotal role in our economy in that sense. And at the moment, we do have the situation where the relationships between South Africa and the United States